Gary Kirk, and I am the Systems Division Sales Director. I've been here a long time. When I first started, there was 4 of us. We've now grown to 50 plus. It is a very people business, and I love the relationships here. I've also been in the industry a lot longer. I spent 10 years on the construction side before I joined SEC, but I can honestly say that this time now is the most exciting time for both this company and the industry that we're in. The change that we're seeing are phenomenal. Yeah, I think the logistics industry has changed massively, partly because of COVID, but also the way that people buy products. The public using e-commerce and buying online is becoming much more part of people's lives. And what this actually does is it can change a business model completely. If you're providing the same product but not sending it to a distribution centre or to a shop, but you're now having to supply it online, then it changes the whole process of how the business works. And that's kind of why people have seen big companies that have fallen by the wayside and other companies that have embraced the new technology grow and develop and go on to do better things. I think it will steadily progress and probably even quicken. Most of our clients deal with 2 same sort of problems that they faced on a day-to-day basis. One is recruitment and retention of staff, and the second is space optimization. And what you're seeing with automation and the new technologies that we're bringing into the logistics industry, it's being able to remove operators, greater pick rates, safer pick rates, but more accurate pick rates as well. But also the automation starts to use the space much better. You get a much better utilization of the cubic volume of it rather than just what was used to be in the old days, I say the old days, 4 or 5 years ago, very narrow aisle racking. We've run many simulations on lots of different types of companies in many different sectors, and what we've often found in these simulations, we can be proved that on a pallet racking, you tend to get, on average, 35 picks per person per hour. We've seen higher, but we've also seen much lower. When you start bringing in different types of storage systems, like a multi-tiered picking structure, we can see those pick rates go to 80 to 100. You then bring in automation, autonomous moving robots and conveyors, those pick rates can very rapidly grow to 300. That type of increase in your pick efficiency means that your headcount doesn't need to be nowhere near as large, and that's why automation is massively changing the logistics industry. There are certainly different skills that are required. Fork truck movements are greatly reduced, but we are trying to introduce operations and systems that help the operator put to light walls so that they can dramatically reduce the number of errors that are made. But it is making life simpler, which also means that when you're onboarding new staff, giving them the ability to show them a 3D video or even virtual reality where they can see the operation firsthand does allow them to onboard much quicker. I think the latest type of technologies need the latest type of technologies to present them. It's very difficult to present an AMR or an autonomous moving robot solution on a 2D piece of paper. Ideally, what we now need is 3D fly-throughs, and probably more importantly, what we'll be able to give to our clients is augmented reality, where they can actually stand in the warehouse and see the operation for themselves. We've been looking at automation very closely for about the last 4 or 5 years, and back then we were finding it very difficult to produce return on investments that were less than 5 years. However, now as technology is increasing, but the cost of the technology is coming down, we're now able to put this into the SME market, which has never been able to be done before. We're now very confident that with a pick force of 10 people, the AMR solution could potentially give return on investments within 36 months. Data sets are becoming absolutely vital now. Trying to understand how you use the warehouse space to its absolute optimum means that you have to understand multiple different issues regarding a SKU. These are really 4 pillars that we look at when we are designing warehouses. 1 is the volumetric size of the SKU. 2 is how often you pick it. 3 is how much you keep in stock. and 4 is the velocity that leaves the building. All 4 are very important, but the ability to view all 4 together makes what ELSA does so vital to use the warehouse to its absolute optimum. ELSA is an AI machine learning bot which basically has the ability to analyze huge amounts of data. And what it does, it analyzes those 4 pillars that we spoke about and creates an understanding of which particular SKU goes in which particular type of storage system. Now that can be affected by seasonality, how much you bring in the stock, how quickly you pick it, and even the product size. A good example is this: if a company sold pencil sharpeners, one of which was gold plated, the likelihood is they would maybe sell 1 or 2 of those a year, and they would be best kept in some kind of dense storage like a drawer system. However, they also make plastic pencil sharpeners, which they sell by the hundreds of thousands into Staples and office furniture companies like that, and therefore that product would be best suited in a very different type of storage, palletized, maybe even multiple palletized. ELSA allows the company to look at each SKU and identify the optimum location for it. Absolutely, one of the things that ELSA does very, very well and is essential is to understand that design does change and flex throughout the year. It could be seasonal, it could be a new product that you've never sold before, and therefore having the ability to relocate that stock or that SKU into a more optimum picking location is absolutely vital. And it's what true intelligent warehousing is about. It's about constantly adjusting the environment to make the most of the space and the head staff and the head count.